Hello, hello. All right. I am excited. This is going to be a really fun day today because I get to hang out with my dear friend, Lauren. We are going to be sharing some fun details with you around the excitement that's happening this week. If you've been seeing my page, you've been seeing some posts that I've been sharing about an upcoming masterclass, the Freedom Formula, and I am so excited to get to interview Lauren, who is a part of this business. She got started online a couple of years ago. And I think it really helps. I mean, if you're on my page, you've seen my story. So you kind of know a little bit about me, but I feel like it's so beneficial to really learn about the diversity within this community because Lauren and I are living two very different lives based off of the exact same business. So Lauren, thank you for being here. Thank you for spending this time with me today. And let's kick things off with a little get to know Lauren time. So if you wouldn't mind sharing a little bit about yourself and maybe a little bit about your journey stepping into the online space.
For sure. So I'm Lauren. I'm just the average girl from the northwest coast of BC up in Canada. And I am a travel addict, to say the least. And I decided a couple years ago that enough was enough. I was just done being miserable in my 9-to-5. I was in so much pain from a previous back injury, and my anxiety was like through the roof. And I was just so sick of like always asking for permission to take time off or to do the things that I wanted to do, to just like not feel guilty about not being well enough to come to work, like literally anything that was lighting me up. I didn't want to have to ask for it anymore. I just wanted to do my own thing. And so I figured that working online could be the solution to all of my problems. And sure enough, here I am 2.5 years later, living in Mexico with my husband and my cat. So it's been a really interesting journey, but it's been exciting and I wouldn't change any of it.
Oh, okay. I love this. And honestly, like looking at, if you ever have a chance, like I can share Lauren's Instagram with you guys, but my gosh, her travel, her adventures, like all of the cool trips that you take. And literally from the day that Lauren had connected in with me, like, okay, Allie, like, what are you doing? I'm interested. It was like that goal. It was always like, I want to be able to travel. I want to live abroad. I don't want to like keep living the same life on repeat. And watching you take action, go after your goals, like show up for yourself these last 2 years. And literally I'm watching you manifest your entire reality. And it's wild that right now you're in Mexico. I'm like, oh my God, you did it. Like, how cool is that?
Feels pretty surreal.
Yeah, so proud of you. I just honestly like could not be more happy for you.
Thank you.
In terms of like getting started. So obviously you did not have a background in the online space. This is not what you knew, that you weren't familiar with it. What helped you kind of step into that? I know that we've shared that we're going to be doing a masterclass this weekend. Is that something that you found beneficial for you, being able to explore and really learn about things? How was that experience for you?
Yeah, I honestly feel like watching a resource of any kind is so beneficial because of the things that you can learn, like the clarity that you can get off of just hearing someone else's story and what they're doing and how it could actually work for you is so beneficial. And like, not to mention the energy and the motivation of the people that are speaking, like it's pretty wild how you feel once you've finished watching it and how motivated you are to like make a change and do something that's going to actually like move you forward and out of the position that you're in. Because I mean, everyone that's in the community that is going to be present, or like there's a couple hosts that are going to be presenting this obviously, but the people that are in this community, they're all after the same goal. They're like, they want the time freedom, the location freedom, the financial freedom. And that's what we're all working towards. And that's what we're all here to support you to do too. So it's like, it's just the first step in your journey, really, because until you take a look, you really won't know if this is something that could change your life. And yeah, if it's available, why not?
I mean, I couldn't agree. The fact that like being a part of a community that supports anyone that's like brand new starting out with like, here it all is, here's all your information, this is what it looks like, here's the inside, like full like pull back of the curtain. So it's really intended to help you make a decision in terms of moving forward and changing the trajectory of your life. So I love that. Thank you for sharing that. Who would you recommend if someone was like, hey, do I check out this masterclass? Like, is this something for me? Like, who would you say this training is really built for?
Well, if you're anything like I was, or you're feeling like any of the emotions that I had felt before, like if you're miserable in your job, if you're constantly watching the clock, counting down the days till Friday, or stressed out on Sunday nights, like you obviously know that what you're doing now is currently not working. So like, why not? Because I mean, think about this. If all you had to do was commit to showing up for like a couple hours to find out for sure if this business and this community is something you'd be interested in pursuing and being a part of, like that would be worth every second. Like, take it from me, had I not taken the time to watch something like this masterclass, I wouldn't have just moved to Mexico. Like that was my dream for over a decade, and I made it happen because of the skills that I learned here. So, I mean, that, but I mean, I should also say it's kind of for the people who are also not willing to just keep doing what they're doing. Like it's for people who are not wanting to mess around anymore. The people who are committed, determined, ready to say like, F this and accept what you have already tried is not it. Like it's okay to have tried something and come to the conclusion that it's not for you. Like even if you went to school for 4 years, like who cares? Like what's the saying, Allie? It's like the average person changes careers 7 times or something like that. Like that was me. And I mean, I'm probably on like number 10 now, but like I found my dream job because I showed up, made a decision, and fully committed. So I would say that if you're any of those things, like 100% for you.
Oh, that's, I love that. And I think like reiterating what Lauren said too, like really, like I always think about like, what's your worst case scenario? Because it's likely that most people are actually living their worst case scenario where they're unhappy, they don't like their job, they're not making enough money, there's no financial abundance, no time, I'm not with my kids. Like often we're in that worst case scenario. So then if you want something different, if you want that new result, that new life, that new outcome, that actually takes doing different actions to get to where you want to be, or else we stay in our insanity loop. And if we just keep doing the same thing over and over again, then we always are going to produce that same result. And my gosh, if you really want something, like go after it, show up for yourself. And the fact that this is like built out for you in such a beautiful space, and to have community, like-minded people. Like, do you know how fun it is to get to talk to Lauren every day and we get to bounce ideas and share our dreams and our visions? Those are conversations that I wasn't having with half of my girlfriends because they were still like very like 9 to 5, Allie, you're that online weirdo, like what are you doing? And then I get to have Lauren in my life and we're like, let's dream so big, and oh my gosh, how much are you going to make this month? And like, what's a big goal? And yes, and we get to talk about all of this incredible high level, beautiful goals and ambitions and like going after our dreams. So being in a community like that, that's who you want to be around. And that's really like, from my perspective too, with masterclasses, is the energy is incredible, like you'd said, Lauren, but like just being with so many unique individuals that are so diverse. Like Lauren and I have completely different backgrounds, like very different stories, different ambitions. Like I'm obviously at home in Kelowna and she's at her new home in Mexico. Like, but she chased after her dreams, I chased after mine, and we're still using the same vehicle to get us from where we are to where we want to go. But that path gets to look how you want it to look. How Lauren builds her business is different than how I build mine. So that's really the beautiful thing, is it gets to be customizable. It's yours, your brand, your story, your authenticity. But having a community and a platform, education, skills, resources that support you in building something brand new, we both know what it feels like to be brand new. Like it's hard. Like it's kind of like a fire hose to the face of like, what is all this information? But that's part of starting brand new. You're a beginner, and every master started out as a disaster. Not that I don't know. I don't know if we were disasters, but like we weren't great at first. We got better. We got better.
But you know, like, yeah, I mean, I even the thought, like I knew I wanted to be an entrepreneur forever. Like I started out as a hairstylist and that was my journey, but obviously the back injury ended that. But like the thought of starting as an entrepreneur online, like even hearing the words online entrepreneur held me back for 6 months. Like it was terrifying to me. I didn't realize what it entailed, like what I would need to do, how much work I'd have to do. And it's just like, I remember you even saying to me, you're like, Lauren, yes, you might have to work every day, but I'd rather work 4 hours in Italy than 8 hours in the office. And I was like, sold. get me in there. And it's just like, until you actually look into it and see what it's all about, you're really not going to know. And if you hate it, you just move on and continue looking for something else. And if at the very least you get clarity on what that is, like, that's so valuable.
Yeah, and that's like a good thing too, is sometimes people start like exploring and they're like, well, I don't really know what I want. But I can tell you what, you'll find out real quick what you don't want. And that sometimes becomes more clear as well. I know I don't want to bug my friends and family, or I know I don't want to post on my personal page, or I know I don't want to have product stock or inventory, or like that was kind of my list. I'm like, I don't want to have a party. I don't want products piling up in my garage. I did not want to have to post all over my personal page. I didn't want to cold call or message my friends like, hey, I started.
My family didn't even know what I was doing for probably 6 months when I first started, because that's how little I involved them in building my business.
Like I knew what I didn't want. So I had my I don't want this list. And then the rest became more clear as I started to explore. I was like, oh, okay, yeah, I like that. Okay, I like that. And that's nothing over here. Perfect. Yeah. So sometimes it's really not even knowing 100% what you do want, but you'll figure out what you don't. And in the process, that helps you narrow in and see what is aligned for you. So that's always the goal, always here to support you. Again, Lauren, thank you for your time today. This was amazing. For anyone wanting to check out that masterclass, it's happening over 2 days. It's going to be May 30th and May 31st at 4 p.m. PST. And then I can add you into that Facebook group, and then you get to be a part of the community and the trainings and just really immerse yourself into all of this knowledge and all the beauty that's available here. So Lauren, thank you. Appreciate your time today. Have fun in Mexico. Go soak in some sunshine and enjoy the rest of your day.